It's a big day, 710 ESPN, now the official home of Los Angeles Kings hockey. And joining us right now is the president of the Los Angeles Kings and a Hockey Hall of Famer. The great Luc Robitaille is online. Hi, Luc. Welcome.
How are you doing?
We are excellent, Luc, and we're great to be back in the hockey business. I've said it to you. I've said it to the audience. I'll say it to anyone who will listen. There is nothing like live hockey. Nothing like being there in person. Nothing like watching it on TV. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. Edge of your seat stuff the whole time. And now we've got all the games. And, Luc, I think we're catching the Kings at an upswing. I think you went through a dip, and now you're coming back up. Would you agree with that in terms of evolution, you're moving in the right direction, or do you think that you might need another year or two to rebuild?
Timing is everything. It's like they're saying, you guys are really good business people. You knew how to get us at the right time.
Absolutely.
No, we went through a few years where, we told our fans we're gonna rebuild the organization and had to build through the draft. And, we went through the pain. I think Rob Blake did a really good job. We were pretty fortunate that it only took 2 years. And then we suddenly got back in the playoffs. Now, we're not happy about the last 3 years, getting out in the first round. But the first step was definitely becoming a team that can get into the playoffs in our league, because that's already a hard thing to do. Now it's about building a team moving forward to win. The goal is to win the Stanley Cup. So you want to win the last game of the year, and you want to build as much character and so forth, and that's where we're at. So, yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to be competing for it the next few years for sure.
Luc Robitaille with us. His number 20 hangs in the rafters at Crypto.com Arena, and we are now officially the home of the Los Angeles Kings. So, Luc, I'm some people say I'm a little self-obsessed, but the first thing I thought of when I heard this announcement was years ago I got to sing the national anthem at a Kings game. And it was a thrill. Afterwards, I saw you, and you looked at me and said, never again. Now, is the door open now for another crack at this?
Oh, God.
Come on, Luc.
We might have to look at it. It is good entertainment.
That is as honest of an answer as you've ever given. Go ahead.
We have a new sound system, so I'm not sure how we're going to have to talk to our technician people just to make sure nothing blows up.
Yeah, Luc, as long as that sound system has auto tune,
and as long as I don't blow up,
Mason can cover that. All right, so Luc, let's get to the thing that's really bothering me. And by the way, people that have never heard a Kings game on TV or on the radio, I love Jim Fox. Every time I listen, Jim teaches me something that I didn't know before. And this goes back to when he was working with Bob Miller. And now he's doing the games with Nick and with Daryl. And you will learn something about the game of hockey every time you listen or watch these guys. They're great. But Jim, as part of this big announcement, Luc, Jim was on earlier today, and he says, and I could not disagree with him more, that Anze Kopitar has passed you as the greatest LA Kings player of all time. This is an outrage, Luc. You're still the all-time leading scorer.
Outside of Wayne, yeah.
And more important, you're his boss. You're Anze Kopitar's boss. He can't put Kopitar ahead of you. What say you, Luc?
Technically, I'm Jim's boss, too.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
He needs
to think of it.
Yeah, he needs to be reprimanded, but don't do anything to take him off the air because I would miss him.
No, absolutely not. You know what? Jimmy's right. Like Anze Kopitar, what he's represented for this franchise, what he has done since he came in this league, it's amazing. Plus, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason you play the game, the reason you get in, the reason we go through pains of rebuild is to win championship. And he was an instrumental player both times we won the Stanley Cup, and that you can never take away from what he's done and what he's accomplished, and that's why it makes him the greatest King ever.
Wait a minute. You moved to Detroit willingly, and then you won the Cup. You should be rewarded for that. You had to live in Detroit for a year.
That was my goal, but I'm just going to say I'm fortunate I got to win it, so I knew what it takes to win. I don't believe you really understand exactly what it takes to win until you win it. And for me, I was fortunate that this happened. I was able to bring back some of these thoughts and feeling and culture that I'd learned while I was in Detroit.
All right,
I'm going to stick to that.
I got one last thing for you here, Luc. JJ Redick today was announced the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, you've been a star in this town, an executive in this town for a long time. What advice would you give JJ Redick as he embarks on this journey as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers?
What advice would I give?
I would tell him to win.
Of the Lakers. Well, yeah, you better win. The expectations are high in this town. I mean, but know your town. I mean, people love the Lakers. I would say enjoy the ride. It's very special. You know, it's like working with the Kings in the city. It's a very special franchise. We have our core fans that love us and live with us, and the Laker fans, it's one of the most iconic franchise in all of sports, and what an honor it is to coach that. So enjoy that because, you know, coaches are hired to be fired, and it's unfortunate, but that's part of sports. So while it's going on, enjoy the ride, and you know one thing, like that's a franchise going to try to do whatever it takes to win. So you're pretty fortunate when you're a coach and you have a franchise and an ownership group that's how they talk about. Lakers are never trying to just, you know, get in. They're trying to win it all, and that's a great way when the Dodgers are doing the same, and we feel that's the same about our team.
All right, Luc, last thing. Have you been watching the Stanley Cup Finals? I know you've been working, so I would assume you're trying to watch, but have you had a chance to watch these last few games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's my question. I think, and you certainly know better than me, but I know they were down 3-0. And I know it's almost impossible to come back from 3-0. But I think Edmonton has figured something out. They couldn't score early in the series. In the first two games, even their great players, even Draisaitl and McDavid, none of those guys could find the back of the net. They're now scoring, Luc, like they did during the regular season. I don't know why that McDavid has found more space to operate and he's putting his imprint on the game, but I give Edmonton a real shot to come back from 0-3 and steal the cup. How about you?
Well, Connor McDavid is the best player in our game, and it's not even close. He's at the level of like when you used to watch like an NBA game and the Bulls were playing, and suddenly if Michael Jordan said we're winning today, they would win. In our game, it was when Wayne Gretzky was at his prime and he said we're winning today, he would win.
Sure.
So was Mario Lemieux, and you know, there's some, you know, you would watch Tom Brady and it felt like, hey, we're winning today, and he would win. Magic was the same, and you know, Kobe was the same. He's at that level where if he says we're winning today, it's going to be really hard to contain him. In the last two games, to get 8 points in hockey in 2 games, it's incredible. You don't even need to know hockey. If you watch him, you see the difference between him and everybody else.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very special athlete. So you can't count him out. At the same time, our game is a real team game, and you know it seems to depend who scores first and everything. But I would never count Edmonton out with a player of that level. But at the same time, at some point, I know Florida is going to get back in their game where they've been really good the whole year. You know, it seems like.
All right. Well, Luc, if you think about this interview later today or tomorrow, whenever.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very memorable.
Yeah, and you decide I'm going to be a good guy and I'm going to let Mason sing the anthem at a Kings game. Just make sure you get somebody else to sing "O Canada" because he doesn't know that.
I don't know them words.
He can't do the Canadian one.
Nope.
He can only do, or just have him do it in a game against like the Ducks, where you don't have to sing the Canadian anthem, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, but what I was thinking strategically, we might pick like like a lower game on a Monday night, and maybe for sure not to anthem because of length, guys, of hearing the vocals.
Right.
Yes.
4 minutes instead of 2. I think we need to be strategic on the preparation of this event.
Well,
All right.
you know, Luke, when you have a great
What do you think?
Yeah, when you have a great player, you send him down to one of your minor league affiliates to get him ready.
Yeah.
You could do that to Mason.
Yeah.
You know, send him out to Ontario or some phase out in the sticks and have him warm up.
That might be the way. Like then when you play well in Ontario, you move up. So
There you
maybe
go.
we'll wait till he performs it well, and then he'll move up.
You just talked him out of me.
No, I didn't. I just got you a minor league gig.
You got me a minor league. I was going for an NHL gig.
Yeah, you know, it just gets thrown into the big league. Luke had to come up through the system.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You got to earn your stripe.
All right.
Exactly. Hey, Luke, we're really excited,
we
man.
couldn't be more excited, man. Welcome to 710 ESPN. We are going to be at all your games. We're going to be pumping them up. We're really excited.
We're going to be on the Zamboni. We're going to be in the suites. You're going to be sick of us, Luke.
No, we're going to have fun, guys. Really looking forward to seeing you guys more often. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for doing this, man. Have a great day.
Okay.
All right, there you have it, Luc Robitaille, the great Luc Robitaille. Yeah.